Last week we fired up Supermang, but this week we might be setting fire to Supermang. It's driving me nuts! So this week we were planning to have Supermang on the dyno, and I'm not sure that's going to happen now. It's just been one problem after another. We fired it up, we thought it's all good, and then water starts pissing out of it. There's a little housing at the back of the intake manifold there, and I thought I had it sealed up. I had so much plastic on there, I thought it's never going to leak, it's fine. And just like water pissing out of it. So that's problem number one. But as I was doing testing and looking at things, the lifter noise wasn't going away. You know, when the lifters pump up with oil and all that, and the rockers, you know, get all nice and quiet. It wasn't getting quiet. I'm like, it should really have pumped up the lifters by now. I don't think this thing's got proper oil pressure. It's got some, we have some oil up there, but I don't know. I think we've got a problem. I think we've got a problem with the oil pump or the bottom end in some regard. I don't know what the problem is, but I'm pretty sure we don't have oil pressure. And I mean, I'll let you hear it. You'll be able to see there's no oil coming off those rockers. So as you can hear, it is a bit noisy. They always are when you have a rocker cover off, because the rocker cover actually helps dampen down the noise. But it's more than that. Like there should be oil flinging off those rockers, you know, onto the inner guard, onto the pipes, onto the camera. There should be oil, and there is not oil. And that's really starting to concern me, because there should be oil. So what I'm going to do is I'm about to put an oil pressure gauge on the front of the oil filter housing, and that's where the normal oil pressure sender unit for the dash and everything is. So I'm going to put a sender off there, a little gauge, and we'll see if there is actually oil pressure. And if there's not, then we've really got a problem. And I don't know if that's a problem we can sort out in the car. And to be honest, with the amount of, we've started this up a couple times now, like more than a couple times, probably a dozen, and run it for at least 2 minutes, more maybe, you know. With no oil pressure, that would be bad. Like I said, I don't think it's had no oil pressure from the get-go, but you know, because the oil ended up in the head somehow. You know, the engine was basically dry in the top end. It's ended up with oil up there somehow, but I don't know why it has no oil pressure. It's just, well, we don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out if it's got oil pressure. Hello, Mr. Large Spanner. It's a very large spanner. Dandenong things happening outside. Okay. Right. Some oil has come out of that, so that's a sign, but that I did actually, I pressurized the engine with oil through that hole, so there's gonna be oil there. The engine has had oil pushed through it, okay? But it had oil up there before. All right, let's go get an oil line to connect it. Well, we have a gauge. Let's see if we've got any pressure. Well, here goes nothing. Well, that's a big fat 0. Yeah. All right. I'm at a bit of a loss, to be honest. The oil pumps in these things are pretty much infallible. I don't understand why it would not have any oil pressure. As I've said, I've pressurized the oil with an external source through there, through the whole engine. I guess I can pull the whole oil filter housing off the side. Let's have a look at that, see if it's a problem there, see if like the bypass is locked open or something stupid. But yeah, we're getting to that point where we might have to pull the engine out again soon. You've got some leeway, but I think that time is approaching very rapidly, if not past. If we get oil into it as soon as possible, we might be able to save it. Otherwise, you know, we might be just pulling this engine out and putting new bearings in it and finding out what the hell is going on with it. Yeah. This is not the video I wanted to be making this week. I even pre-filled the oil filter. All right, out you come. All right, so that's the plate. It's our spring. Gasket's not blocking anything. Yeah, I don't know. What's the deal with this check ball? Okay. Well, I mean, I've pulled the housing off, the springs come out, there's a little washer I had in there to help give extra pressure, the piston has slid out, it's all there, the bypass is there, it didn't seem stuck, open or closed. I mean, what happens if I hit the key now? Is the pump actually going to pump anything up? The pump's just not moving anything. Like, it's not drawing anything up. I mean, I can put the piston back in there. See if that comes firing out. Well, that didn't come shooting out. I mean, there's pressure pushing against that. There should be pressure pushing against that. It should have come out like that. The pump is not pumping. The fuck? I'm gonna have to pull this frickin' engine out again, aren't I? That's what it's gonna come down to. The engine has to come out because I'm gonna have to pull the hole, I'm gonna have to pull the sump off, make sure the pickup's got no problems, make sure there's O-ring on the pickup, which I know there is. I did not miss those things, but I've got to check, don't I? Then I'm gonna have to pull the oil pump gears out, have a look at them, find out what is going on. It's just, and then after I do all of this, then I've got to fix the water leak at the back of the motor as well. So yeah, I guess we're pulling the engine out again. I'm gonna have to check the bearings. I'm gonna have to find out what's going on with the oil pump, because the oil pump is obviously not doing its job. The oil pump runs off the crank. I mean, how can it not work? And yes, I know there's some smart ass going to go, well, you probably got the insert inside the timing set that makes it, it's in there. I know it's in there. I put it in there. You know, the balancer holds it in place, like it's got nowhere else to go. It's just super frustrating. This engine has been super frustrating, and it's not an engine I've built myself, so I've done all the peripheral, but the bottom end, is there a problem in the bottom end? I don't know. I'm going to have to just keep diving until I find a problem. I'm this close to just putting an LS in this car. That's where I'm at. Because I want to do something with the V6. I feel like we should just go get the old V6, drop that back in it. Because, yeah, this one is just being so painful. You know. Sorry about the complaining, guys. Sorry about the whinging and the complaining, but you get it. If you're a car guy, you get it. There is no reason why this should not be working unless a catastrophic failure, you know, did it fraction the oil pump gears. I didn't think that would be a thing with the V6. It could be. But this thing has been nothing but trouble. And I regret ever going towards the stroker. I should have just stuck with the 3.8, just gone with that. It ran, it did all the things it was supposed to do. We could have put a turbo on that. Maybe we do that, I don't know. That's where I'm at the moment. I'm almost at that point where we pull all the stuff off this stroker bottom end, put that in the corner, and go get that 3.8 that's sitting up on a, you know, trolley up the back, and put that in, and then turbo it and just go and have fun like that. But that's where I'm getting close to. I really want to do something with this stroker, but fuck. Yeah. So where do we go from here? And here we are. Welcome back to Frustration City. Population 1. So I have skipped through all the boring bits like unbolting the pipes and the supercharger and all that stuff. I've got all the bolts removed. It is ready to lift. So let's get the engine hoist over here, yank this thing out again, and work out why it hasn't got any oil pressure. Could it get any worse? So with our little V6, we've got two issues to deal with. We've got obviously the oil pressure, that's a big issue, but we've also got a big water leak around the back here, and it comes from just about here. It just squirts water. And look how much silicone I've used on this. Like, I thought they would have sealed it up for sure, but nope. I'm gonna have to remove all this, get a proper gasket in there and reseal it. What a pain in the butt. Right, well, we've drained the oil, so let's flip her over and lift the sump off. We'll start with that. There's still a lot of water in this thing. Look at it, just everywhere. So the first stop on our little voyage of discovery is to lift the sump because there's a whole bunch of reasons why you could have no oil pressure in the sump. Big one would be if you left a rag in there, you know, or something blocking the pickup. I don't think I did. It would be pretty obvious. No, there's no evidence of that happening here. I'm not happy with what I'm seeing in here though. Not feeling any metal, which is a good sign, but it's quite a bit of moly lube laying around there. So it's pretty much pushed all the lube that we've used throughout the engine. But yeah, I'm not feeling any metal chunks, not yet. So that might be a good sign. Hopefully we haven't totally smoked the bearings. But yeah, there's a lot of ugly looking oil and lube in there. It always goes a bit black from the moly stuff anyway, you know, the moly gets washed out by the oil and makes it all look a bit ugly, but that's all right. Moving on. So as you can see, there is no rags left in here. The pickup is not blocked, nor is it loose. I'll just pull that off and make sure it's got an O-ring on it, which it should do. But yeah, there's definitely something wrong, isn't there? So it's got a seal there. I don't actually remember replacing that seal, so it does look a bit second-hand. However, there's definitely some pushback on it, so it should be sealing. Still, we'll need to replace that. Just to satisfy my own curiosity, I've bolted the filter housing back on. Let's push some air through. Yeah, it's all coming out the outer hole, which is good because filters flow outside to inside, or most do. And then yeah, nothing's coming out of the center. It's all coming from the outside, which is what it's supposed to do. But the fact that there's no oil getting pushed out of this thing just surprises me. There should be some sort of oil in there, and there just isn't. So either no oil got drawn up into there in the first place. I mean, there's no blockage. The path seems to be free. There's nothing stopping the oil from getting there. So either it's a pump problem or a seal problem. So I guess we need to pull the pump off, which means balancer off, and that whole timing cover assembly has to come off. Yay. Okay. So as you can see, the oil pump drive is fully engaged, so it's not that either. So all it could be, I guess, what's this? Is either the seal wasn't sealing on the pickup, or there's some problem inside the pump. That feels like it's sealed on there quite well. I mean, the other issue, I guess, could be that it has to draw oil through the cover, like so it goes from pickup to block, from block to the timing cover, into the filter, well, into the pump, into the filter, back into the filter, back into the block, to all the oil galleries. So if there was a bad seal going in or out of the timing cover to the block, that would be a problem too, but that feels like it was stuck on pretty damn well. Yeah, I'm going to have to get another seal, of course, to reseal the in and the out of the block. But yeah. So now we're going to have to open that up, have a look in there and see if there's a problem in there, like if the gears are broken or something. I'm not seeing any sign of that, but we're going to have to check everything because there's definitely a problem. Right, so I've done some investigation and I'm pretty sure I have an answer, and this one is on me, unfortunately. All right, so this is the timing cover I have pulled from the engine. As you can see, I've taken the backing plate off the pump. None of that's important. What is important though is I was comparing. This is the timing cover that came off the engine. This is the old timing cover. Remember, we had problems where we snapped off a bolt in that way back. Look at this, because I was looking at both of them, and you can see a little piston in there. So yeah, I was looking at both covers and I'm like, I can see the piston there, but in this one, I can see the spring. And on seeing that, my brain's gone, oh. And then it's gone, oh. And I've realized what I've done wrong is I've put the oil pressure relief piston valve in backwards. So yeah, on this one I've stuck the piston in this way, where it's, in fact, the spring has got to go in first and the piston on top of that. So I've got the spring and the piston wrong way around, and that's why we've got no oil pressure. Yeah, and I have confirmed this. I've got our workshop manual here. There it is right there, spring and valve on top of it, not valve and spring facing the other way. So yeah, we've got confirmation in the manual, but yeah, basically it means, yeah, it was just bypassing straight away and not building pressure. This one's on me, so Scotty fucked up. I know a lot of people say, Scotty fucks up all the time. Debatable. Yeah, there's a lot of parts breakages and things go wrong that way, but this one is actually me screwing up. So now I guess let's pull the motor over and have a look. And see if we've hurt any bearings. Wow, that looks brand new. Well, we might have gotten away with this. I reckon I can put that back in and fix the oil pump, fire this up, no problems. But yeah, I think we dodged a bullet there. Yeah, usually it's one or, it's like one or none type, it's all or none basically. So, you know, if one shows signs, they're all going to show signs. If none show signs, if one of them doesn't show any sign, then it should be that all of them should be fine. Because once one bit of metal picks up, it's just a cascade and it just goes through everything. And to be honest, I haven't found any chunks of metal. I mean, there's a lot of moly lube that's been laying around, and it looks a bit untidy in there, just bits of moly everywhere. And I think from the amount of moly lube we've had in there, that's protected it from having no oil pressure. But yeah, I think we're good to go. So I will put that back in, not today because I've got other things to go and do. We've got Motor X coming up on the weekend, and I've got to get the ute finished, get that ready for Motorex and for Kenda, but we'll get into this in probably next week. Get it all back together, get the oil pump in properly this time, and get it in the car and fire it up with oil pressure, and you'll see all that running on a future episode of Carnage.